Preparations already underway for Mardi Gras Southeast Texas in 2026. Why organizers are bringing the party back to Doggett Ford Park.
Plus, a new ambulance is coming to Beaumont weeks after a rollover crash. How much it'll cost and the response from the city attorney on insurance coverage.
And the 4th of July just 2 days away. We are breaking down the fireworks safety tips experts are urging you to consider. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with us here on 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus. Your time is now 7:01, and right now we're keeping an eye on two crashes on Interstate 10, which are causing some delays. The first one happened around 5:45 on I-10 and 11th Street. The dispatch confirms that the crash led to a second incident on I-10 and Gulf at 5:58 involving 5 vehicles.
And Mark, we just got this into our newsroom right before we started this stream. We're told that that scene on 11th is now cleared. We're also following a major traffic incident on the Veterans Memorial Bridge. Take a good look at your TVs right now. You can see that traffic on one side moving slowly, but it looks like on the opposite side it is at a standstill. Now, this is the Veterans Memorial Bridge heading from Port Arthur toward Bridge City. We're told a 2-car crash has been reported at the base of the bridge. Getting a closer look now at all of that traffic backed up there on Veterans Memorial Bridge. Also, we were told that a 6-car pileup is blocking lanes at the top of the bridge. A 5-car pileup has occurred on the side, on the Port Arthur side.
And now we're hearing just into the newsroom that the Port Arthur side just clearing up, and emergency responders, they are on scene, including law enforcement, fire crews, and ambulances. And as of 6:48, the only reported injuries are 5 minor injuries related to the 5-car accident on the Port Arthur side, which is just clearing up. Looks like you can see the traffic actually coming over off of that bridge right now in this live look, and you see that vehicle going right on by one of those crashes right there that led to this incredible traffic snare. And of course, the Veterans Memorial Bridge here, what's important to remember here is that right next to it is the Rainbow Bridge, which has been shut down for months now for maintenance. And this bridge right here has been handling all that traffic that connects Port Arthur to Bridge City. Now, the total number of vehicles involved in all of this still being confirmed. And now we've got a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. This is above Jasper. We've got Jeff standing by with today's forecast. Hey, Jeff, how's it looking out there today?
Well, luckily, we don't have to deal with any rain or anything like that this morning, especially with all that traffic over towards Bridge City. But lots of sunshine out there this morning. Again, we're seeing those milky, kind of dirty looking skies as we see that Saharan dust still overhead. That will slowly leave the area as we go through, it looks like, the next couple of days. Looking up towards Jasper, this camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperature-wise, we're starting off once again into the 70s for this morning. 77 right now in Silsbee, Orange at 77. Beaumont here, we're at 75, and then Woodville, Kirbyville, and Port Arthur all at about 76, while we're down to about 73 in Jasper. Our day planner starts us off into the 70s early this morning, but then we jump to about 81 at 9 a.m., around 90 at noon, and then we go up from there. 93, 94 is possible for later on this afternoon as far as afternoon highs. A little bit of a west wind between 3 and 8 miles an hour, but we do see a dry forecast for today. I don't have to worry about any rain. The heat and humidity together will bring our heat index up around maybe 100, 102 for this afternoon. So take care, make sure you stay hydrated, take some breaks from time to time, away from that heat into some air, or even at least some shade. Just get away from the blazing sun out there through some of the Saharan dust. Our firecracker forecast, now this is for Friday night here in Beaumont as they set off the fireworks display for the 4th. Temperatures in the lower 80s. No rain expected on Friday night. Should be a nice night for those fireworks. We'll see mostly clear skies. Winds will be light out of the south. So it looks like a perfect evening for watching some fireworks. Matter of fact, looks like a nice dry forecast through most of your weekend. We do see a little bit of rain next week. We'll be talking about that coming up in weather.
Thank you, Jeff. I guess we're going to call it Mardi Gras in July because organizers, they have already started making plans for their 2026 celebration here in Beaumont. Tuesday, we found out that the party is going to return to Doggett Ford Park, and that news took some by surprise because of the challenges that the park presented to Mardi Gras last year.
The organizers say it's important for logistics and long-term stability that they have a permanent home. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato has more on how organizers are trying to keep the party going.
We're a party with a purpose, and we intend to put on a good show.
Let the good times roll. Back to Doggett Ford Park. Mardi Gras Southeast Texas announced its return during the Jefferson County Commissioner's Court. Organizers say next year will include an outdoor concert and industry row for businesses.
We believe there's a place in this community for this kind of festival, this color, the pageantry, the parades, and everything that goes with it.
Mardi Gras left downtown Beaumont this year, citing security costs. Organizer Laura Childress says Doggett Ford Park really is the perfect location.
It's the infrastructure and the facilities that they have there that accommodate the needs that we have to grow, such as safe parking, public restrooms, a large open area for vendors and crafters and things of that nature.
Childress says this year they had no real complications other than some electrical issues. She told Commissioner's Court they couldn't use electrical outlets because they were owned by the YMBL. 12 News reached out to the YMBL and received a statement saying YMBL doesn't have keys to electrical and water access, and Doggett Ford Park is responsible for county-owned property. Organizers don't expect any issues next year. They say the tradition is here to stay.
And what we're wanting to do is make this event sustainable for years to come. And they've got questions they'd like to ask us, and we have questions we want to ask them. It's the best way to do it.
Tuesday's presentation to the Commissioner's Court was informational only. At some point later, the court will have to give final approval for Mardi Gras to be held at Doggett Ford Park again.
Beaumont City Council members, they gave the green light Tuesday for the purchase of a new ambulance. Now, this unit is going to replace the one that was damaged in that crash back in May. And that's when police say an SUV had plowed into that ambulance, causing it to flip. 3 EMS workers, they were inside and injured. One medic had to spend several days in the ICU. Now, during this week's meeting, Councilman Chris Durio asked if that ambulance was insured. This is what City Attorney Sheree Reed's response was.
It's in litigation. Yes, sir. We're preparing. We've taken all the necessary legal steps, but the average person doesn't carry the amount of insurance, property insurance, to cover something like that.
Now, the new ambulance is going to cost the city more than $300,000, and as you heard, it's unclear how much the city might recoup from insurance from that accident back in May.
Switching gears now, with the 4th of July weekend just ahead, experts are urging fireworks safety. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, nearly 15,000 people were treated at the ER last year for firework-related injuries. 11 of those died.
Yeah, injuries, they can include a loss of fingers, blindness, and serious burns. And our 12 News reporter, Derek Jones, he has all the details you need for this one. Hey, Derek.
The 4th of July is when everyone wants to light up the night sky, but lighting fireworks without taking proper safety measures can lead to serious injury. The 4th of July and New Year's are two of the busiest times for firework-related injuries. While people are out having fun, these explosives can cause severe burns and in some cases even lead to the loss of limbs. Dr. Jamatsko Apala says it's fine to have fun, but safety must come first.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but you have to be careful with it. You have to understand that it is an explosive that you're handling, and handle that with care and caution. Try not to hold it. Try to light it up at a distance and in an open space.
12 News also spoke with Michael O'Connor, CEO of the Dream Center Southeast Texas. He says the best way to stay safe is to read the instructions and keep your distance from lit fireworks. The 4th of July is this Friday. Make sure you celebrate responsibly and stay safe. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Thank you for that, Derek. Now, we're just 2 days away from the 4th of July, but Texans hit the highways as early as Saturday.
Yeah, many of us are going to be hitting the highways and flying those friendly skies, and AAA reports that nearly 6 million Texans are expected to travel for the Independence Day holiday starting this past Sunday through the Sunday after the 4th. Now, this marks the highest number of Texans traveling for the holiday on record.
The reason why we see record travel is because of the number of people traveling by car, that a lot of people are taking road trips this summer.
And AAA has announced has also launched their summer safety driving campaign to make sure you're prepared to drive and not be distracted. Now that includes keeping an eye out for emergency vehicles and tow trucks.
Across the nation this morning, the inmates who escaped a New Orleans jail are facing new charges. 10 inmates broke out of the parish prison on May 16th. Investigators say they got out through a hole in the wall behind a toilet. 6 of the 10 were in prison for murder or attempted murder. According to the Louisiana Attorney General's office, all 10 escapees were formally charged Monday with simple escape.
It is a danger to the community when you don't have a fully functioning facility, and people can 10 people can run out the back door. So we're going to charge them. We're going to hold the aiders and abettors accountable.
9 of the inmates have since been recaptured. The remaining inmate, Derek Groves, remains at large. After a nail-biter of a vote in the Senate, the House is now taking up President Trump's tax and spending bill, where it's expected to face some opposition.
Yeah, here's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio with more.
This morning, President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill faces a battle in the House.
I'm optimistic as always.
House Speaker Mike Johnson can only afford to lose 3 votes after the Senate worked through the night to pass it, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. Some Republicans voicing opposition to the bill's price tag, estimated to add $3.3 billion to the debt over 10 years.
I am not inclined to vote for this bill, as based on my understanding coming out of the Senate.
And House Democrats united against it.
This dangerous and extreme Republican budget will result in Americans losing their lives.
The bill includes nearly $4 trillion in tax cuts, along with new funding for immigration enforcement and defense. It would also eliminate taxes on tips and overtime, and it imposes work requirements on Medicaid. A nonpartisan analysis claims nearly 12 million Americans could lose health insurance. But President Trump insists the Medicaid cuts only target waste, fraud, and abuse. ABC's Mary Bruce pressing the president on this claim.
Are you saying that the estimated 11.8 million people who could lose their health coverage, that is all waste, fraud, and abuse?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's going to be a very much smaller number than that, and that number will be waste, fraud, and abuse.
What number is that? What analysis are you seeing?
I'm not seeing a number, but I know it's much less than the number you gave.
House Speaker Mike Johnson trying to keep his caucus in line.
They went a little further than many of us would have preferred. So a lot of work ahead, but that's the job, so we'll get it done.
Overnight, a key House panel has voted to send President Trump's signature bill to the floor. The president says he wants the bill passed by July 4th, but he acknowledges that will be very hard. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead on Daybreak, food, one of the best parts of the 4th of July, what you can expect to spend at the grocery store this year. Plus, a robot in Austin is making friends. Your trending news is coming up. Your time, 7:13.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today. As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Well, it's Christmas in July on 12 News Daybreak, and every Wednesday in July during the 6 a.m. hour, we're giving away tickets for a family of 4 to Moody Gardens in Galveston. And then on Wednesday, July 23rd, that's when we're going to announce our big grand prize winner, and that's going to include not only those tickets for a family of 4, but also a night at the hotel and a round of golf for 1. So to enter this great contest, just head on over to 12newsnow.com/contest. And 4th of July means fireworks, flags, parades, and of course, backyard barbecues. And if you are planning to host family and friends to celebrate Independence Day, you can expect to spend a little bit more than last year. Here's ABC's Melissa Adon with the details on what to expect at the grocery store.
As Americans get ready to fire up the grill this 4th of July, they should expect to see slightly higher prices for some of the most popular barbecue items. Wells Fargo's Agri-Food Institute says hosting a gathering this year for 10 people will cost about $130 for the food and beverages. That's just over 2% higher than last year.
A lot of parts of the country have different menus, but we chose pretty standard, hamburgers, some hot dogs, salad, sweets.
Burgers are always popular, but beef is up 7.4% from 1 year ago.
Chicken's going to be your go-to. If you really need to save that money or you want to save the money, chicken, in all formats is a good deal. If you look at it compared to incomes right now, it's at all-time affordability. Beef, on the other hand, has really struggled staying affordable in this cycle.
If you're adding eggs to your potato salad, those eggs are up a whopping 40% over 2024. For those looking for some lighter options,
we're in a good spot for fruits and vegetables right now. We've had good water supply in California, and it's their turn to shine this time of year with supply. And so we're seeing actually fruit and vegetables are down from a year ago.
As far as beverages, whether you're serving alcoholic or non-alcoholic drinks, prices are up about 2%.
When we looked at the category, we said beer, wine, soft drinks. And once again, that's not driven by aluminum. It's not driven by the sweeteners. It's driven by the fact that it's just more expensive to manufacture things on an ongoing basis. 2% is pretty reasonable, but if you really want to save some money, have them bring some of their own beverages to go at the party.
And of course, there's some good news for those looking to buy American on this very American holiday. The USDA says more than 85% of the food consumed in the U.S. is produced right here at home.
.18 on this Wednesday morning, and you'll walk out the temperatures this morning in the 70s once again. 77 right now in Silsbee and Orange, 75 here in Beaumont. Woodville, Kirbyville, Port Arthur at 76. Good morning in all those locations, and about 73 right now in Jasper. Outside, we've got that kind of milky looking sky again for today. Still have some of that Saharan dust around, so not exactly crystal blue skies like we like to see, but kind of milky here and there. And of course, we'll head down towards Gator Country and Finette, where the Gators are staying cool this morning as the sun's just now starting to come up across the area on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As we look at satellite and radar, we have a cold front that is right across, you can say, the northern third of the state. This is going to hang up and not really come farther any farther south, so we'll be south of the front. Hot and humid today, middle 90s. Add the heat in there, the humidity, and you'll be up around 102 as far as the heat index. So take care with lots of water, take lots of breaks here and there. They're getting some water as you head down towards the Rio Grande Valley. Look at that moisture coming right up the valley and into parts of the hill country, into sections of West Texas for this morning. Much needed rainfall through parts of West Texas, all the way up towards Wichita Falls in Oklahoma, and then back down out towards San Angelo, over towards the Big Bend area of Texas there, seeing some good rainfall amounts. Futurecast showing numbers climbing out of the 70s into the 80s this morning, and then by lunchtime into the afternoon we'll be in the 90s, expecting high around 94, 95, and then we'll drop back into the 80s for this evening, and then eventually 70s again going in towards your Thursday morning. Should be a nice start tomorrow with just some partly cloudy skies. Not expecting any rain today, really through Saturday. It looks like a dry forecast. Out in the southeastern U.S., looking out towards the Atlantic, possibly northern parts of Florida for maybe some development over the next 7 days. Hurricane Center says there's about a 40% chance here, maybe some tropical development. Our forecast, partly cloudy, no rain. We'll see highs 93 to about 94, 95, and then for tonight back into the middle to lower 70s. Partly cloudy with a light southwesterly wind. 7-day forecast shows about the same weather today as we'll see through Saturday. Start off in the 70s, we'll end up in the middle 90s. Hot and humid across the area. 4th of July looks great, just going to be very hot. And then as we head towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, rain chances back in the forecast around 20-30%.
So I asked y'all a question about 4th of July yesterday during the same show. If you're not going to cook barbecue, someone purchase it for us. We all have to work.
Oh, I thought we had already made that thing though. You're going to cook. You're going to cook, and we were going to come over, right?
No,
yeah,
that's what I thought we were
that's
doing.
What we agreed on.
Y'all must have been dreaming.
No, we weren't.
No,
it was right here.
Right here in the show.
All the viewers saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming over.
Okay, we'll see if someone messages.
Hey, we'll let everyone know how this works out. Okay.
Everybody knows what they saw.
Everybody knows.
Everybody.
Thank you, Jeff, for that.
You're welcome.
All right, check out this amazing cloud spotted in Portugal. That's some weather right there. It looks like something out of a movie, maybe even some AI, but it was a very real sight at a beach there last weekend. Now, this is called a roll cloud. Jeff never predicts these, which can only happen when certain temperature levels of humidity and wind conditions. Another huge factor is the time of day, but all in all, it is pretty rare, luckily. These clouds aren't really dangerous. Definitely a sight to see there in Portugal.
It is time for some trending news. NASA is teaming up with Netflix to stream rocket launches, spacewalks, and mission coverage. NASA says the partnership will make its work more accessible to everyone. Schedules and programming details will be announced closer to launch.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I would watch it.
Absolutely. You know, I used to live next to a missile base, of all things, out in California. My dad would wake us up to watch them in the middle of the night.
Okay, that's a nice memory.
Yeah, it was a nice memory.
All right, we know technology is getting smarter, but now it's also learning to be likable.
Yeah, take a look at this robot that was spotted making friends in Austin.
For real, you radiate that big boss energy, my dude.
What a cool guy. Jake the Rizbot, he is going viral for his interactions like this one. Big boss, huh? He's an AI avatar being trained to interact with people on the streets of ATX. Jake does not have a mind of his own, at least not yet. A pilot controls his moves and conversations. Well, that's not as cool. I wanted a Rizbot.
I would have preferred, I would have preferred if he was more like AI, where he just kind of can come up with stuff.
Yep.
But
before you know it, they'll be surprising you. All right, apparently July is National Pickle Month.
And to celebrate, Sonic is rolling out a limited edition pickle-inspired menu. The new items will be available at locations nationwide throughout July. Sonic is teaming up with Grillo's Pickles for the new pickle-flavored items. The special menu includes a new burger, a pickle slush, tater tots, and fries. You can order a combination of all of them as part of what Sonic has dubbed the Big Deal Meal. They should have, I guess, deal pickle, but big deal
I
pickle
love that.
meal.
I love that. The Big Deal Pickle Deal.
Okay, yeah. But give it a tongue twist. I would just say, can you say, how many times are you going to say pickle, 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 and
Pickle Dill. Pickle Dill. I don't know about that pickle slushy. I might pass on that.
Yeah. I like pickles, but not like that.
Although I just got an idea for an adult beverage that could be frozen with it, so that might not be a bad idea. I'll talk to Sonic about this. I'm going to run on down there.
You're going to do that then.
Yes.
All right, it is now 7:24. Jeff will be right back with another look at your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/golden apple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
You're watching Daybreak on 12 News Plus. It's 7:26 a.m. and still ahead. Mardi Gras Southeast Texas says the good times are going to continue to roll at Doggett Ford Park. More on that up next.
Plus, after firefighters were killed in an ambush in Idaho, the Port Arthur Fire Department takes proactive measures. Your time is now 7:27 and taking a live look outside right now. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Officials are currently working to clear the scene of a multi-vehicle accident on I-10 at Gulf. The crash, which involves 5 vehicles, was reported at approximately 5:58 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tia Johnson.
I'm Mark Armstrong. That incident followed an earlier accident around 5:45 at I-10 and 11th Street. Now, authorities have since cleared that scene, and the traffic is moving along there. Now, we are also following a major traffic incident on Veterans Memorial Bridge heading from Port Arthur towards Bridge City. There was a 2-car accident that has been reported at the base of the bridge over on the Orange County side. There was also a 6-car pileup that was blocking lanes at the top of that bridge, and a 5-car pileup that occurred on the Port Arthur side.
As of 7:08 a.m., the only reported injuries are 5 minor injuries related to the 5-car crash on the Port Arthur side. Fortunately, as you can see, all of the accidents have now been cleared. The total number of vehicles involved is still being confirmed.
All right, let's take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 live Skycam network and Fournette. Look at that big old gator right there in Gator Country. That's why we've got that gator cam up for all of y'all, so you can see him just chilling out there. Jeff, what's it looking like out there for the Mr. Gator?
Looks like it's pretty comfortable out there. Got your tail in the water, your feet in the mud.
He knows what he's doing.
Not too bad. As we take a look at temperatures, we're generally in the 70s again for this morning. 76 right now, Port Arthur and Beaumont, as well as Woodville and Kirbyville. So right there in the middle 70s to start off on this Wednesday morning. 75 right now in Jasper, 77 in Silsbee, and Orange currently showing a temperature of about 79. Outside once again this morning, we're seeing that kind of milky looking, kind of dirty sky. That's that Saharan dust that we've been tracking. Looks like it's going to be sticking around for maybe another day or so, but starting to thin out already a little bit. And it won't be here, I don't think, as we head towards the holiday into the weekend, but still a little murky out there as far as the skies. But at least they're dry skies. We don't have to worry about any rain. This camera in Port Arthur on the Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. This particular camera is sponsored by Market Basket, and then up in Jasper, also seeing that kind of milky looking sky. This camera brought to you by Provalis up in the Jasper area as folks getting up and getting going on this Wednesday morning. As we look at our day planner, we're seeing numbers into the 70s right now, but we'll be in the lower 80s by 9 a.m. as we head towards the afternoon. We're expecting to see highs up around 93 to about 94. So it's going to be a hot afternoon. Add in there the humidity, the heat index is going to be maybe 100, 102. So take care, please, out in the heat. Maybe get in from time to time, take those breaks, stay hydrated if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time. We'll see a little bit of a west wind for today. Expanding our forecast out towards 4th of July. We've been talking about that this morning. Firecracker forecast for around 9 o'clock on Friday night. Lower 80s, mostly clear. Light south wind. Looks like a good night for some firecrackers. Matter of fact, the whole day, 4th, is looking just hot and humid. We don't have any rain in the forecast through Saturday, but we see some rain next week. We'll show you the 7-day in just a bit.
As Jeff likes to say, hotter than a firecracker. All right, let's the good times roll back to Doggett Ford Park. Mardi Gras Southeast Texas, they announced their plans to bring the festival back to Doggett Ford Park next year during Tuesday's Jefferson County Commissioners Court meeting.
Yeah, that location has been controversial since the event moved from downtown Beaumont last year, citing security costs. 12 News reporter Derek Jones is in studio with those details. Derek.
The Mardi Gras celebration is on track to return to Doggett Ford Park in 2026. Organizers laid out their plans before county commissioners this week, and while they didn't take a formal vote, no one raised objections. The move to Doggett Ford last year was met with mixed reviews, from logistics to questions over infrastructure. But organizers say the park offers crucial amenities like safe parking, restrooms, and open space. Organizer Laura Childress says it's all about logistics.
It's the infrastructure and the facilities that they have there that accommodate the needs that we have to grow, such as safe parking, public restrooms, a large open area for vendors and crafters and things of that nature.
Childress says this year they want to add an industry row for businesses to show off their products. Another organizer, Tim Romero, says they want to make sure the parade will stick around for a long time, and part of that is finding a permanent home.
We believe there's a place in this community for this kind of festival, this color, the pageantry, the parades, and everything that goes with it.
One challenge parade organizers say they faced last year was an electrical issue. Organizers were told they could not use the electrical outlets because they were owned by Young Men's Business League. The YMBL hosts a fair at Rodeo Doggett Ford Park in the spring, but County Judge Jeff Brennick said that those electrical boxes belong to the park, not YMBL. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, switching gears now. A procession was held in Idaho yesterday for the firefighters who were killed in an ambush shooting on Sunday. The bodies of Frank Harwood and John Morrison, they were escorted by dozens of first responder vehicles, and a third firefighter was injured in that shooting as well. He is still recovering. Investigators believe this fire that was set intentionally by Wes Royley to lure those first responders to the area. Royley, he was found dead nearby from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, this all begs the question, how safe are our local firefighters here in Southeast Texas?
Yeah, the Port Arthur Fire Department says it's taking a proactive step by providing training opportunities so the first responders can carry a firearm. 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett explains.
I understand more all the different aspects of the response to something.
In the wake of the recent tragedy in Idaho, Interim Deputy Chief Antonio Mitchell wants Port Arthur residents to know that their team is there to protect and serve in more ways than one.
We only have 4 guys that are legally allowed to carry their service weapons while in the commission of their jobs here at the fire department.
Chief Mitchell says 4 men, including himself, are dual certified, meaning they've gone through the police academy and other training to get their basic peace officer license.
We are full-fledged police officers, no different than any other law enforcement agency.
Mark Muller is one of the 4 who are dual certified. He says he likes being able to jump in at a moment's notice.
In a fire response, I can still do firefighter stuff. Active shooter type scenarios, I can fall right in with PD.
And that the certification allows him to fulfill a childhood dream with a servant heart.
There's 3 things that help people: fire, EMS, and police. And I always wanted to do all 3. I guess I just like helping folks, and yeah, finally got there.
And while they won't hit the streets to patrol, Deputy Chief Mitchell did say that new safety procedures for first responders are in the works.
How does that look going forward? So all those things are still being hashed out and worked out now. We have ordered some equipment, some bulletproof vests for those guys.
Chief Mitchell says the department continues to grow the number of first responders with dual certification. He says as part of that, the department just sent 2 men to the Regional Police Academy.
Jefferson County ESD3 held a push-in ceremony last night for a fire truck. It's a tradition for firefighters when they get a new engine. The ESD serves the China and Nome areas and had to replace its old engine bought in 2006. Now, it's standard procedure for fire departments to get a new truck once it hits the 15-year mark. But Jody Herrera with ESD3 says that for a small department like theirs, that's nearly impossible.
It was money that we had saved up so we could buy a new pumper. We'd been saving it for a few years because the other engine was starting to break down and it was starting to cost way more than it was really actually worth. So by doing this, in the long run, we're saving taxpayer money.
Yeah, and the chief there says that this new engine comes with a lot of bells and whistles, like a larger water tank and a bigger water pump. He says this will all be instrumental in helping keep people safe.
The Jasper County Sheriff's Office is expecting another donation today. It was promised to the department as members continue fundraising for a much-needed rescue boat. The department posted on Facebook Monday asking for donations. So far, the community has raised $75,000 of the $100,000 needed to buy the boat. It's needed for rescues on Sam Rayburn Lake and the 2 rivers that run through the county. The money will have to be approved by the Commissioner's Court.
And we're hearing from the crisis negotiator who helped end the standoff on I-45 last week. He helped save a woman's life after she sat down in a chair on the freeway for hours holding a gun.
Matt Doherty has more on how the woman surrendered.
I ran up to the front and got to work. I saw a person in need. I saw an individual in pain. I saw someone suffering, and I wanted to help.
It took only 7 minutes from when he got the call for Harris County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Aaron Brown to reach the scene of the standoff on I-45 near FM 1960.
I saw a woman in pain with sitting in a chair in the middle lane of traffic, distraught with a gun to her neck.
I was there on Thursday afternoon and saw that distraught woman sitting in the middle of the freeway.
She was having some really, really dark and dangerous delusions. And, based on my training experience, I'm going to listen. Everyone thinks that negotiating is about talking. has very little to do to talking. It has everything to do with listening.
We watched as Sergeant Brown spent hours trying to get the woman to drop the gun from about 50 feet away as he was partially covered by a shield. Brown says he was able to make a connection with the woman and build a bond based on shared experiences and personal connections like family.
At one point, she was having a delusion that her adult children were deceased. We were able to bring her daughter up and show her, right, hey, your daughter is here.
The more they talked, he says, the closer he was getting to breaking through.
There was a huge change. I think it was about 3 hours in. She's a grandparent. She's a mother, right? This is a good person having a bad day. And I was talking about my grandmother. She was talking about, her family. And she gave me the biggest, most beautiful smile I've ever seen. And I told her, that's you. Now I'm talking to you.
Ultimately, it worked. The woman dropped the gun, rose to her feet, then shook Sergeant Brown's hand and hugged another officer.
She has a mom. She has kids. Her kids are wonderful. She's a grandmother, a mother, and a dog owner.
Something to live for.
Something to live for. It's there. I think we just lose sight of it sometimes.
In downtown Houston, I'm Matt Jordan.
A reminder, if you or anyone you know is going through a mental health crisis, resources are available. If you're alone and need someone to talk to, just dial 988. Ahead, we're talking heat safety after a young girl died when her mother left her in a hot car. Details coming up. It is now 7:41.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news
and keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
7:44 on this Wednesday morning, and outside, once again, we're looking at those kind of milky looking skies as we still have some Saharan dust moving through the area. This from Port Arthur, brought to you by Market Basket, our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network down towards Port Arthur as we look down towards the Intercoastal Waterway there in Port Arthur. Temperature right now into the 70s. We're showing 80 now in Orange, but 76 in Port Arthur. Also Woodville and Kirbyville at 76. Then we jump to 77 in Jasper, Silsbee, Beaumont, all at 77 right now. As we check out satellite and radar across the state, not seeing too much. We do have this cold front to our north. It's a very weak front, not going to push it all the way down towards the coast here. But a little activity along the front, especially as you get out towards West Texas. You can see some of that moisture coming in off the Gulf, and you fairly wet right along the Rio Grande River from Brownsville all the way up towards Del Rio. And then that moisture kind of working its way up into parts of the Texas Panhandle, West Texas, even up to the Red River Valley for this morning. So a lot of moisture out in West Texas. They need some rain, so good news for them. They're getting it for this morning. They had a little bit yesterday as well. As we check out our temperatures for this morning, climbing up through the 80s, and by lunchtime into the afternoon, we'll see 90s return back to southeast Texas. About 94, 95 today, and in the humidity will be up maybe 100, 102. So it's one of those days where you need to slow down a little bit if you're going to be outside working. Get yourself some breaks and lots of water. Stay hydrated. As we head towards this evening, temperatures back in through the 80s. We'll drop off into the 70s going into Thursday morning with just partly cloudy skies. No problems out there as far as any active weather. We won't see any. As we look out towards the southeastern U.S., speaking of active, the Hurricane Center says there could be some activity out here over the next 7 days. They're going about a 40% chance of maybe a few showers or thunderstorms flaring up around maybe a tropical system as we head towards late in the weekend, early next week. So right now it's quiet, but we'll have to wait and see if we see some activity as far as tropical activity across the southeastern U.S. Partly cloudy, temperatures into the 90s for today. West winds at about 3 to 8, and then for tonight, southwesterly winds at about 3 to 8. Temperatures back down into the middle 70s. Looking at our 7-day forecast, showing temperatures right around 94 each day, all the way through Saturday. Morning lows will be in the 70s. So each day, kind of like the other. We will see hot, humid conditions on 4th of July on Friday there, so be careful out there with those fireworks. And then as we head towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, rain chances come back, but they'll be small, 20-30%.
That's a long stretch of tropical potential development there in Florida. I guess it's just a whole range of area because it's not like it's going any particular direction or anything like that.
No, and there really hasn't been anything that has developed as of yet. So they're kind of outlining a big area because anywhere in that area there could be some development. They don't really see anything already that's they're thinking that something will develop.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you, Jeff.
Uh-huh.
All right, a heartbreaking story out of Houston. Police say that a 9-year-old died after being left in a hot car. They say that her mother left her in there with the windows down and water while she went to work for the day in 97-degree weather. That's terrible. When she returned, her daughter was unresponsive. Now, our sister station spoke with an expert about why this turned into a deadly situation so fast.
There's no safe amount of time to leave a child alone in a vehicle. And it's a myth that if you crack the windows that it will make the air cooler.
How fast can a car be dangerously hot for a child?
A car can heat up, especially in the summertime, in a matter of minutes to a temperature that can cause brain damage and other health-related issues. And literally in minutes, the car could be at a fatal temperature.
The girl died at the hospital. Her mother was arrested at the scene. And the heat can be dangerous for our four-legged friends as well.
And it may be harder to tell when they need a break. There are several things we can do to keep our pets safe, though. When it comes to dogs, different breeds handle the heat better than others. According to the American Kennel Club, breeds like Chihuahua seek out warm, sunny spots, while breeds like Huskies will stay near the AC. To prevent your pet from overheating, limit walks to early morning or late evening. Test the pavement first. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for their paws. Make sure they have plenty of water and never leave your pet in a car alone.
Did you see their little booties? Very cute.
And my dog has one. Bo has one.
All right, when 12 News Daybreak returns here on 12 News Plus, we're going to have more news and weather in your morning rush out. Your time is now 7:49 as we're taking a live look above Jasper here on the Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. We'll be right back.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
filtering out rumors and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers
taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. Sponsored by Sabine Equipment.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back to Daybreak. It is 7:51 and it's time for your morning rush out. We're following several wrecks that happened early this morning. Officials are currently working to clear the scene of a multi-vehicle accident on I-10 at Gulf. It involved 5 vehicles and happened around 5:58 a.m.
Yeah, this followed an earlier accident around 5:45 a.m. on I-10 and 11th. Now, authorities have since cleared that scene and traffic is moving again in that area. Now, as of 7:38 a.m., all the accidents on the Veterans Memorial Bridge between Bridge City and Port Arthur, they have now been cleared. It was quite a mess out there. There were several separate crashes.
Yeah, this included a 2-car crash at the base of the bridge, a 6-car pileup blocking lanes at the top of the bridge, and a 5-car pileup on the Port Arthur side. There were 5 minor injuries reported. Those were related to the 5-car crash on the Port Arthur side. The total number of vehicles involved is still being confirmed. Jeff.
Looks like we'll reach a high of about 94 today with this hot and humid conditions, and we'll continue to see the same as we head towards not only Thursday but Friday and then again on Saturday. So be ready for a very hot but dry 4th of July. Then as we get towards Sunday, we'll see maybe a couple of showers pop up. We're going about 20% for Sunday and then 30% for Monday and Tuesday. So there will be a few showers here and there to start off early next week, but the majority of your holiday weekend looks fine. Just be careful with those firecrackers. Light them on the ground, not in your hand, Tia. And we're looking at those afternoon highs, like I said, around 94, 95. With the heat index every day, we could see maybe 100, 102 as far as the feels like temperature.
That's what it feels like out there.
Yeah.
All right, before we go, check this out. What this Houston homeowner came face to face with when he stepped outside the huge gator.
That is big. Look at that.
Big old one. He's got the equipment for it, though.
That.
Goodness. All right, the huge gator was in his front yard earlier this week. He says that he did an about face, went back inside and called the constable's office. They sent an alligator wrangler to capture it and move it to a safer location. It looks like he needs a bigger trailer for that thing. Jeez.
That must be, what, 8 foot long?
12 foot maybe even, honestly. Could be probably 1,000 pounds just about. That's a lot of gator tail right there.
Tastes like chicken.
409 Sports, brought to you by Golden Triangle Emergency Center, Orange.
All right, July 1st is officially Beaumont Renegade Day now in Beaumont. The proclamation was made by Mayor Roy West Tuesday at City Hall in front of a packed house. 409 Sports Director Brandon Roddy asked Beaumont native and Renegade linebacker Keewan Alfred what Tuesday meant to him.
It means everything, honestly. It means everything. You know, being a Beaumont native myself, you know, coming from this city, like just seeing the city council and the community actually embracing us, like it feels great, you know, because we did this for the city. You know, we wanted to win the championship and bring something positive and something for the community to look forward to every Saturday or Sunday. So it's a great feeling to be recognized, for sure. You know, I never had a chance to win a championship. I've been to a championship before, but never secured it. And finally to do it at home is just, like I said, I'm still floating on cloud 9 right now, so it feels great.
Co-owner Rodney Robichaux says the phone has been ringing off the hook from other leagues trying to add the Renegades.
Yeah, we're looking at different options on what league we'd like to play in. And being the champions, we have all these leagues inviting us to come visit with them, which we're taking advantage of that. They play 16 games plus the playoffs, so it does give us 8 home games versus 5. And then the playoffs, if we do like we did this year, next year, they'll all be coming to Beaumont to celebrate spending their money here.
Co-owner and current Washington Commanders defensive end Dietrich Wise says he enjoyed the whole experience. Shout out to them.
Congratulations to the Renegades. All right, speaking of sports, you might know Malia Yousafzai as a Nobel Prize winner and education advocate, but she's also a huge sports fan, and now she is putting the passion into action. She and her husband are launching Recess, a new initiative investing in women's sports worldwide. The platform supports established leagues aiming to expand opportunities and promote a gender equity. Now, Malia is especially focused on WNBA and the National Women's Soccer League.
Good to see people doing big things out there.
Absolutely, looking out for women's sports. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Jeff, Saharan dust, is it going anywhere this week?
I'm hoping by the 4th that it'll be clearing out and we'll see a little bit more in the way of some blue skies to go along with our red and white outfits.
Okay, a little less haze, a little bit more sparkle and razzle dazzle up in the
razzle
sky. Dazzle. All right, thanks so much for watching us here on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
I'll be back here at midday. Tune in at 11 a.m.
Have a great day, everybody.